Hi there, my name is Michael Wu from Shanghai, China. My today's topic is about leadership in China. Why leadership? Because today's world is more and more advanced and complicated. So we definitely need more business leaders and political leaders. And you can see business leaders play more and more important roles in our daily life, not only in the economy, but also in the society. So why China? First, let me ask you a question. When we talk about China, what makes you think of it? China? Many populations, a lot of people want to travel to the world and buy luxury brands, low manufacturing cost, human rights issues, no freedom or safety. Something you may think it's right, something maybe you are thinking is wrong. But no matter what, one fact is China is now the second largest economy scale in the world in terms of GDP volume. Japan is number 3. China is actually 3 times of Japan. Back to 40 years ago, in 1980s, China is number 7 in the world. Japan is number 2. At that time, Japan is 4 times of China's GDP volume. You can see during the last 40 years, what a big change in China. So my another question to you is, what makes China so successful in the economy? I can give you an answer, but something you can think about is maybe because of the political system. The system, China is very unique. It's a socialism system. You may like it or dislike it, but at least during the last 40 years, China's socialism system, the political system is very stable. So make foreign investors feel safe to put the money in China and get the profits. The second reason is education. Since China has a big population and the government invested a lot of money to provide free education to the people to enjoy 9 years at the minimum education, and many of them can have another 3 years senior middle school. So all these people enter the labor market. So they provide laborers with a relatively high education. Also a large number of people, they went to the college or university, so they can, after that they can be engineers or managers. So all these supported the growth of China. And the third reason is WTO. In the year 2000, China got the support from USA and entered the WTO. After that, China became a member of the world economy, so we can export our products to the other countries freely to provide good products with low cost. So this is also one of the big advantage for China. So last but not least, I think the most important thing is people. Without people, if you have many resources, I don't think you can achieve a lot. So if you have a lot of people, how to make them work together, how to lead them, how to get best of them, to utilize the good things from them. This is the leadership. That's why I want to talk about leadership in China. Let me give you a real examples business case of a small enterprises. What the leadership works there. The case is this is a relatively small factory, which is very typical in China. So this factory was founded 15 years ago, and it makes shock absorbers, which is used in car or trucks or the machining equipment. to absorb the void, the vibrations and the shocks. So when the company started, they only have the founder, also the manager, and then one assistant, 3 workers, and they just bought one old press machines and rented a workshop and a small warehouse. They started a business. And year after year, every year, the growth is very quick, and roughly at about between 20 and 25% yearly growth. This is because of the economic environment, because during the last 20 years after China joined WTO, a lot of industries was booming. So many big companies, they got orders, especially those foreign companies, they got big orders, and they just distributed some manufacturing to other local companies, or just subcontract part of the orders to small local companies. So that's why a lot of small companies, they can get orders. And as the business growing, now the scale of the company is they have 20 workers, and from management side, there is a general manager, 1 deputy general manager, and 2 production supervisors, 2 quality inspectors, and 3 technicians. So that's all. Still very small scale, but the business is quite healthy. Every year they grow the business, and the profit, the gross margin is about 40%, not bad. And the profit before tax is about 15%. So although the volume is not big, so the profit is quite healthy. And the management style is the general manager, also the founder, is a nice man, so quite kind to the people, and offered a good salary, not the best one, but a little above average. The management style of this company is very much depending on the general manager, the founder. He is a man with a tough style in making decisions, but also very nice to the people. He provides good salary to his people and the workers. Good, but not best. Actually, is a little more than average of the industry. Beyond that, he provides some, how to say, a working atmosphere like a family. For example, every holiday, so he bought a lot of gifts like food, fruit, cooking oil, etc., to distribute to his workers and employees to make them feel at home. This is one thing. Another thing is he also provides some regular party or dinners together with his team members, although this is a small team and together is not too many people, but the kind of feeling that it's a family members. Some annual party outings together, and so that's quite interesting. And this is not unique. In many small companies in China, they often do like this. The working environment, you can say it's clean, safe, at least not dangerous. But there's a issue with the pollution, air pollution, because they use glue during the manufacturing process. The glue is to stick the rubber and the steel to make them together, and then they put in the pressure machine to make the final product, absorbers. So the glue during the process actually created some kind of air pollutions, which smells quite bad. When I entered their workshop, it really shocked me. So this is, for me as a visitor, I cannot accept. That's why there's a big issue, especially for a lot of young employees. They are not used to this kind of environment, so it's not easy to retain the young employees. But for the old employees, they work in the factory for a long time. It seems they just get used to it. So this is the work environment. Okay, let's see. Within this company, there are some good things and some thing at the downside. Good thing is the business is very stable during the last 15 years. Every year it grows and make some profits. Then the job security for the peoples are assured, so that's good. And also profitable, that makes people feel safe to work at this company. Downside is it's very hard to hire and retain young people, no matter in the management position or the operators. The reason is the air pollution in the workshop is definitely one reason for the new workers, but also work intensity versus the money they get is another issue. So the owner say, okay, I provide good salary, but amount of sales seems good, but compared to the work intensity, it's not so good. If the people compare to working with other factories, they are not satisfactory. Okay, so another downside for this company is there is actually no linkage between the vision, company vision, and the pay system. The pay system is standalone. It's very traditional. So like it lasted for long times. For the workers, you work more and you get more. For the management positions, there is basic salaries with some kind of incentive, but there's no system to reward the outstanding achievements or better performance. And even the owner says our vision is to grow the business more quickly, and the company will be bigger and bigger and have more profits, and we're going to share profits with the employees. But nobody believes, because during the last 15 years, the owner said same thing several times, but it seems the company profits nothing to do with the income of the employees. Let's come to the conclusion. What's the leadership in this company? Before we talk about the leadership in China, let's see what's the Chinese culture, especially in the business world. Actually, China was in long time, I think 2,000, 3,000 years history in the feudalism system. And the Chinese feudalism is very much different from European feudalism. At that time, China is a very centralized government controlled by only one thing, that is the king. So in Chinese history, any dynasty, there's only one man, the king, has the ultimate power to say anything. Even the second man, the prime minister under him, has no power. The king can award the prime minister at one day, but at the other day, he can punish him right away, even kill him and his whole family. So in China, the society, the culture is quite unique, that people need to obey the authority. Like each grade needs to obey one level before him. So that's the authority, and which consists of the hierarchy systems. At the top of the hierarchy is the king, and then that's a different grade. And in the hierarchy system, everyone needs to seek his position and needs to find a way to protect himself. So that's, let's say, for example, within a family, so you will feel safe because the parent, the father, will take care of everybody. So you stay with the family, you feel safe. In the organization, it's the same. If you stick with the team within the organization, you feel safe and you get protected. And so you need to work hard, you need to contribute in your way, and then you get protected. And then within the organization, you try to protect your own interests or benefits, or sometimes you need to maximize your benefits to keep a good position in the organization. This is the Chinese culture. The business society is the same. So when we look at this company, the style is the same. So just like other small companies in China, the owner, usually the general manager, has the sole power to say anything, to make a decision, to hire one person, even very low level person, and to reward one person, to motivate person, to dismiss persons. So just with his own words. So there's usually no mature compensation system, sometimes just on his own wish. So this kind of leadership sets up kind of discipline and makes the executions very quick and fast. And also it protects people when they feel they are only if they are loyal to the organization, they will be protected and they can get benefits from the organizations. So I think this leadership in this particular company is very much conforms to the traditional Chinese culture, and it works in the last 30-40 years. For this company, in the last 15 years, it works because a lot of employees are middle-aged people or from old generations. So their thinking is very Chinese way, and they want to stick with the organization. They want to have family atmosphere and social with each other, and they just think, and they can get good pay if they work hard, if they are loyal to the owner, if they are loyal to the organization. Let me summarize the leadership in this company. I think first, it's authority. So the owner uses his authority to make the system running in a very disciplined way, without even a lot of mature process and the procedures. So it works quite well, and execution is usually in a good way. This is a very typical Chinese way of managing the company. So authority is the first thing. The second thing I think is taking care of people. So he taking care of people using his own way by providing a good salary, good working environment, good atmosphere, despite of some issues like pollutions, but in general, so he got his satisfaction from his fellow employees. The third thing I think is maximize the usage of all kind of resources, like equipment, especially the people resources. For example, he doesn't use the best people, no matter for the management positions or workers. For example, for the workers, he used a lot of middle-aged or some even old-aged retired people to do the job in his factory, because they are working very hard and they don't complain, and they have enough skills to fill in the position in the manufacturing process. So this is good things in the past, but may not be good enough for the future growth. So what I can see is 3 characters in his leadership. Just as I said, those are the leaderships, but is it good enough? There's a question mark. Actually, he invited me for the management consultation because he foresees some problems in the near future. His business is growing quickly. He can foresee that more than 40% sales growth in the coming years, and he worries about his capability of the organization, especially the system, although he doesn't mention the leadership. So what he can do next? Yeah, you may think about leadership and management style. When I talk about the leadership in this company, I guess you must have a question that it seems all about management style. Yes and no. Because in China, in many cases, you can see the Chinese leadership style has very much individualized symbolism, and you can hardly say it's a dictatorship, it's a system, it's a style, it's a culture, it's kind of mixture. And even in China, we don't talk about, or we seldom talk about the leadership. If you go to the state-owned company, I think you never hear about leadership. You only hear leaders, because in Chinese culture, we think leaders are appointed and the leaders are linked to the positions, linked to the authorities. So in many cases, especially in Chinese culture, even in Chinese language, we always confuse leadership with management. So even we think these are equal or similar. But in the Western world, it's different. Leadership and the management style is quite different. Leadership is all about the ability to influence the people and make people to follow you. So leaders need to have visions, and which can inspire his followers to follow him, go towards the same directions. So that's the leadership. So leadership is not born, can be trained. So that's the different thinking, and also the culture difference between Chinese and Western people. There is actually a way to change the leadership style in this company, because if they want to develop quickly and catch the business opportunity, not just operate like a small company, they need to change. So this is also realized by the owner. And actually, there are 3 options I proposed to him, or to be more accurate, is we discussed together. The option 1 is to bring some new systems, and which means business systems, manufacturing systems, especially the human resources management system, incentive system. So to change the way that the company runs, because the company usually runs by one people, too personalized. So it should be running like a modern company. So this is the option 1. Option 2 is keep the status quo and just gradually replace the old people with some young operators, young engineers, some new managers to change the way that the company operates. At the same time, establish some new systems, new procedures. So this is the second way. And the third option is to hire a new general manager. And the owner can be the president, take care of the major things, strategic issues. And the day-to-day operation is run by the new general manager who has some professional experiences from other big companies. So with the new general manager, he can establish some, the professional procedures, systems, and establish the good incentive systems, good business practices to support the aggressive business growth. So the number third will be a fundamental change of how the company runs compared to the present way. So do you want to know which option does the owner accept or want to use? Okay, I will tell you the option in my next video. So if you are interested in my channel, please just follow me and you will know more, not only by this company. Also, I will tell you the Chinese way leadership in many more typical Chinese companies, small companies, medium-sized company, even large companies, and in the traditional industries and also in the new industries, high-tech industry. Okay, thank you very much to listening to my radio. Thank you. See you next time.